Guys, we've got an inbox offer from Dylan. This is a 12-team Superflex PPR 1.5 for the tight ends. Scott, this is get the 101, and you're giving the 103 Olave and a 25 second. Dylan's other wide receivers are Tyreek Hill, Michael Pittman, Cooper, London, and then as far as QBs, A-Rich and Dak. And his question specifically is this worth moving up for Marv? You paying that? Give the 103 Olave and a 25 second. You're getting the 101 and a 12 by 9.
Who I'm not paying that only because we know what the 101, 2, 3, 4 are. They're all, I think, assets. I don't want to say they're all equal, but they're all to the point where if I'm getting a free Chris Olave thrown in, I'm fine taking the Olave and whatever player is there at 103. Hopefully it's Neighbors if you really want a receiver, given the QB room, but it's a start 9. I mean, you're getting a great asset regardless, right? You're getting Caleb, you're getting Daniels, you're getting Neighbors, you're getting one of those 3 at the 103, and 2 of them are going to be there. So you're going to get your choice. This feels like the type of deal that very few people would pay to get the 101 because they already value the 103. So I think I'm sticking with the side I already have. I'm not paying this to get Marv.
Dylan went ahead and added a follow-up.
Okay, so I'll read it. Yeah, I'll read it here. It says, follow up on previous inbox offer. Could stick with wide receiver I have and trade back to stack on future capital and roll with the squad now to win. And then he listed out some of his other players, Kelsey, Laporta, Aaron Jones, Stevenson, and some backup running backs. Does that change anything for you, Scott?
No, it just means he has more assets than originally thought. So I just don't play this way. If you told me that you can maneuver it and still have the team you want, and it doesn't matter if you give up the excess here, but like someone said in the chat, just take Neighbors at 103. Yeah. I mean, Marv is great, but I mean, Shane, Neighbors and Olave or Marv, is it even close? Even in a start 9?
Not even a conversation, dude. I mean, I'm not alone in this, so I don't want anyone yelling at me, but if you do, whatever, your mom. There's not a guarantee that Harrison's better than Neighbors. Like, just where's the guarantee? Like, those 2 are pretty much in the same tier. So if you give me a free Olave on that, I absolutely murdered you in that deal. So no, yeah, I'm gonna sit tight. I mean, it could suck if you get the 103 and Marv and Neighbors are off the board, but whatever, you'll figure it out then. I'm sure someone will be shocked and dumbfounded that Caleb or Daniels will be available to him, and then you can make a move then.
Yeah, even to that point, with what we've seen from Caleb and Daniels, like that's not a bad consolation prize. You're getting, imagine having this conversation 2 years ago, Clay. The quarterback 6 in Dynasty is there at 103 and you're pissed.
Just chilling there. Yeah, like, you're upset.
I mean, that's you can't lose with this deal. The fact that you have a top 3 pick regardless and you're getting Chris Olave, you have so much flexibility by keeping the side you have.
So if you're new to the show and you're wondering what we mean when we say start 9, what we're talking about is how many you start in your lineup each week, not including kicker and defense. They don't pay taxes. We don't recognize them as people and positions. Let's go to this hammer from Dak. Let's pull it up. It's not Dak Prescott. We only got one hammer. No, I'm kidding. Thank you very much. And if you want to donate hammers and get your trades answered on a live stream, it's buymeacoffee.com/tradesin5. Okay, let's go to this one. Shane, we'll start with you. This is a 10-team Superflex, half PPR, full PPR for the tight ends. There's a small 0.1 point per carry. So every rush attempt is 0.1, and it is a start 9. So very shallow format here. Mahomes, Love, Wilson at quarterback. We have Saquon, Moss, and trash cans at running back. A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, Flowers, London, Reed, Adams, and then Njoku and Kraft at tight end. I have the 105 and 110 in the upcoming rookie draft. What players should I be targeting? Should I consider trading the picks for a running back that can help me win now? What do you think here, Shane? 10 by 9.
Yes. Can I trade a 105 and 110 for a running back? You can win now. Are you going to get Brees, really? Because you got Saquon, Moss, Cans. It looks like you're going to be carried by your wide receivers. I'd actually probably just see, it's half point PPR, but I probably still would look into if I could get any wide receivers instead, but I wouldn't be opposed to getting running backs.
It's 10 by 9. It is point per carry. Receivers are all good, not great. I mean, you got A.J. Brown. Maybe London gets there. It's a good receiver room. It's probably not a contending team, but then you have Mahomes and Love. And then you have, you know what? It is probably a contender in a start 9. You have 6 hammers / close to hammers if you want to count guys like DJ Moore as potentially a hammer for, this type of format. So I'm fine with taking, what would you do at the 105? Because I don't want a quarterback, right? That's the problem, is I don't want a quarterback. Neighbors will be gone. Marv will be gone. It'll probably go chalk. So, I mean, if a Dunze's there, I would take a Dunze just for the asset. It's 0.1 point per carry. Would you take Jonathan Brooks and just gamble that I can get whatever at 110? Because you're still probably getting Brian Thomas. You're still probably getting Xavier Worthy. You're potentially getting Brock Bowers. I mean, as long as a couple people take a quarterback, you're going to be in the mix with the 110 to still have an asset that you could move. I get it, but I don't think you can add 105 to 110 and move inside the top 2. Top 3, you could try, just because someone might take a quarterback when they shouldn't. But yeah, I think it's you kind of got to put it out there and just say what you're willing to try to do. Like, hey, what will somebody give me for both of these picks? My experience, though, when you do that, you don't even get an asset that's worth both picks. One pick, let alone both. It's like somebody has to be willing to step to the table and trade. Like, would you do this for Puka right now, Shane? Would you trade both of these picks for Puka Nacua? Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Even if I told you could get Roma Dunze and Xavier Worthy with the 2 picks.
Yes.
Okay.
Especially in a 10 by 9. If we're talking 12 by 10, I'll think about it. Still Puka. 11. Okay. Now we're talking.
What about,
but isn't that the type of player you try? Exactly. Aren't those the type of players you try to buy? Like, maybe the Puka manager is a little worried about his injury, or the Achan manager doesn't like him. Like that, you just have to almost send it out for those players in that range, I think.
Right.
Let's go to Trevor's Golden Locks. 2 hammers from him. Thank you very much. Says, AKA Ryan Yukon. I think we should call him, what is it, as Shane elegantly pronounced it? I'll have to go back to that one. So just wanted to thank you guys for squeezing my question in last week. I really appreciate it and absolutely love this show. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, I remember that right at the end of the show, we squeezed in Ryan's hammers. Hopefully we helped you out there, man. Appreciate the hammers. Okay, let's keep, oh, wait, is this him? No, he had more. It wasn't just a kind thing. We got to work for him here again. Quick update from the draft this past weekend. Settings are a 10-team, 2 QB, half PPR, no tight end premium, start 9. Allen, T-Law, Gino at quarterback. ETN, Ken Walker, Spears, Pollard, Warren. And then at wide receiver, A.J. Brown, Waddle, Debo, and Cup. Neighbors went 103, and the guy was set on making the pick and wouldn't accept the package. So I came away with a Dunze, Brooks, Penix, then made a trade mid-draft where I sent JSN and got Pearsall, 25 second, third, and Chubb. Thoughts? Okay, so who wants to start with what? So came away with a Dunze, Brooks, and Penix. Thoughts about that? First off, I guess we don't.
That's a good haul. I still think Penix is exactly what he's been the entire time. It's a way to park your investment in something that is not going to mature negatively between now and whenever it can move. So I like he probably got a little bit of a discount on Brooks and Penix just because they're not on people's radar right now. I need to get Shane's thoughts on the second deal though, because he doesn't like JSN, but in a 10 by 9, that is a very underwhelming return. It's probably 4 things Shane doesn't even want.
Yeah, you sent JSN and you got Pearsall at 25 second and third and Nick Chubb. How do you feel about yourself?
I'm not a JSN guy, but I can do better. I can get more for JSN. I know that because there are JSN women and men out there. Even if I'm not one, this feels like you just.
Is it more, Shane, or just something different? Just not
more
all this
in the
stuff.
sense of more in the sense of I'm not taking back a bunch of wooden nickels. You know what I mean? Pearsall, who, as you spoke to earlier is apparently his shoulder's falling off his arm. Really not happy that I traded for him in a couple of leagues. Freaking piece of shit. Purcell and Brandon Ayuk's apparently not going anywhere. So then you got a second, which is fine. I like the second. A third is, a third is a throw-in, and then Chubb can't walk. Chubb is not going to start the season playing football. I don't know.
But if you gave Ricky Pearsall his shoulders, I bet you Ricky Pearsall would be a stud.
That would be a dangerous man.
And then Purcell could give him just his whole leg because Chubb's torn everything up. So no, I don't like this deal. Even though I don't like JSN, I feel like he should have done better, done different. Something should have been done differently.
That's the word, done different. Because you probably look at that like what you can do with the 4 assets if you wait around for them to. Apparently, the window for Pearsall when Shane was trading for him was a fake window. You couldn't actually see through it because Ayuk was going nowhere, and the whole time Pearsall was probably injured. But yeah, it's just a matter of you got a lot. When you add the 4 pieces up, it just doesn't equal the opportunity cost of what you could have done with JSN.
Indeed. Let's go to a question from the crowd start here. We have an inbox offer from Ethan22. Thank you for the question. This is trade Zamir for a non-playoff 25 seconds. Excuse me. Or wait to sell in season. Hurts, Caleb May at quarterback, Marv, Neighbors, Reed, Polk, and then Javonte at running back, Ferguson at tight end, 9 future firsts through 27. And it's a 12x9 shallow format. Are you trading Zamir for a non-playoff 25 second, Shane?
Yes. I'm going to mispronounce his name, but he's been all over Twitter with the what do you call that? Preseason snaps. Janky, Nathan, something. Janica.
Got it.
Yeah, Janikowski. But he had this awesome tweet yesterday that basically pointed to the last time like a running back had played that late into the second half. The highest scoring season they've had was like running back 31. But also, even independent of that, the Raiders have shown you that they are not going to trust him in a 3-down role. He's not going to be on the field in 2-down situations. He's probably not going to be on the field in 3rd downs, and he might not get touchdowns. So it's that we have an editor here. Yeah, you throw in that office space. What would you say you do here? Because
I'm going to say, Shane, is he even going to play football? The way you're talking is they don't trust him to play.
Sounds like he doesn't have a locker.
Yeah. But even, look, even at his high end, even if I wasn't concerned about all that, I was still selling him for a second. Because you know what I was hoping I could do in season with him? Sell him for a second. Yeah. So just cash out now when everything is appearing to go the other way on him.
Is the same for you, Scott, even though you only have Javonte currently at running back?
I mean, look at the team. Look at the direction the team is already going. I mean,
we
have some building blocks here
for an extra second.
If you told me I gutted my entire roster except for Hurts, Caleb, Neighbors, and Marv, I would be okay with that. If I stored everything else in the form of, let's say I was able to move May, or maybe you don't even move May right now. You wait till May and Polk have their first good game together, then you sell them with the package. And you look at Shane would take this team over. He doesn't even like this kind of format. But if you said, Shane, here's Hurts, Caleb, Marv, Neighbors, and 12 firsts, you would go, I'll take the team. Right? That's about as fun as a start as you could get. Fun. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe May will pan out, and then he's got all of those first to just buy positional players. Wouldn't that be lovely? This could set up well for him. Get that second. Though.
He's got some pieces. I mean, apparently Javonte Williams is now like social media's favorite running back when they've realized that he's actually going to play, unlike Zamir White. Like he is between Javonte Williams and Najee Harris, people are fully bought back in. Those guys are around more valuable than they were a week ago or 10 days ago. It's crazy.
Darth Dookie with the 3 hammers. Thank you very much. He says, hey guys, been a long off season, but we're back at it, baby. Yes, we are. It says ready for your 7:30 kickoff tonight. So Darth Dookie is central, and you knew we weren't going to be on time. But here's the kickoff. It says Shane needs some trade advice. This is a 10-team, 1 QB, start 8 PPR. He said it's as shallow as it gets. Burrow and Jaden Daniels at quarterback, Kamara, Walker, Brooks. Kamara, Walker, and Brooks at running back. Chase Pittman, Nico, and Brian Thomas at wide receiver. Inbox offer is send Chase for AJ Brown and 225 first and 126 first. Let's call them mid. Should I smash this and not think twice? Thanks, you guys are the best. So sending Chase, getting AJ Brown and 3 firsts. Yes,
and
please.
What was the settings?
10 by 8.
Yeah,
super shallow.
Yeah, I don't even care that it's shallow. Yes, I'm taking AJ Brown, who's produced as well as Jamar Chase has, and I'm getting free picks, 3 of them, 2 of them in a bonkers 25 class that's going to, or let me rephrase that, a 25 class that's going to end up getting hyped beyond belief. As someone that just started playing college football last weekend, and have played roughly 90 hours in the past 24. Yeah, give me those 25 picks. Dude, it's ridiculous.
Let me just clarify something. That this will help everybody that's listening, and Shane can tell his college football story again when we're done. Someone would look at this, Shane, and say, this is the hammer at all cost price. You know? Like, but at what I guess my point is, at what point does the line become so blurred where you're like, okay, yeah, I'm upgrading the final 10% from Brown to Chase, but look what you're paying. It's not even what you're paying. It's like, what else could I have done? But a lot of people ask these kind of questions. I was telling you guys a question like this that I got, and the person was just like, this is the only upgrade available. Period. Why do I not take the deal? If it's just get the better player. I mean, how do you decipher that? Because here it's obvious. No one's offering 3 first plus AJ Brown for Jamar, for any player. But where do you draw that line? Because sometimes you do. This is what it takes in a lot of leagues to get the best players. Maybe it's not AJ Brown, but it's, I don't know, like T. Higgins, DK Metcalf, someone like that. But this is the amount it takes to get one stud. You got to throw 4 to 5 first. And people are like, no, I don't want to do that.
So I could see doing it for T. Higgins, or at least if you replace T. Higgins with AJ Brown, and I'm buying Chase that way. But AJ Brown's produced just as well as Jamar Chase outside of one season of Jamar Chase's career. So I'm absolutely, and as much as every podcast I listen to, fantasy football and NFL, trashes the Eagles and tells you how awful they're going to be this year, I'm not buying it. AJ Brown's going to still put up his customary 17.5 fantasy points per game, and then I'm going to have a 3 first to play with. 3 of them.
3 of them, I tell you.
Yeah.
Let's go to 3 hammers from Casey. Scott, we'll start with you on this one. So this is a 12-team Superflex PPR 1.5 for the tight end, start 10. Kyler, Watson, Geno at quarterback. Ramondre, Mostert, Gus Bus, Chubb, Jalen Wright at running back. We have Pittman, DK, Debo, Amari Cooper, Christian Kirk, Brian Thomas at wide receiver, and then McBride, Chig at tight end. Has all the future picks. No trade question, just general thoughts on how to improve. 4 point per passing touchdown. This was an auction draft, and most elite players were overbid. Thus, why my team is more depth/balance. Okay, so just thoughts on this team. Scott, how does the construction look? It's a 12-team Superflex, start 10, very small tight end premium.
Oh, good thing we got Chig. That's the linchpin to the entire team. Just had to add him in there. Hard to say about the construction because we don't have the whole team. We have the starters. The starters look fine. I mean, I like the Kyler, Watson, Geno. If you don't have a second QB, I like both of those guys this year, so I can live with that QB room. I mean, I'd like to get a better QB too, but I can live with those 3 together. The running backs are clearly, we punted running back, but we did get what appears to be multiple options. Not sure how many of them will be good, but you can probably start Mostert and maybe Gus Edwards, and you're just playing it literally week to week. Like week 2, they could be gone. So just be prepared that your entire running back room is probably recyclable after the season or during the season. So as long as you have enough on his bench, I assume maybe more bodies on the bench, I would hope, because the receiver room is fine. Like you have 5 receivers you can start, plus you have Brian Thomas. He gives you kind of like the blue chip upside piece that you don't have to rely on right away. You have a top 3 tight end. If the roster construction is good, where there's a bunch of running backs and a couple backup quarterbacks and stuff, this team's fine. I want more running backs, though. If that's all we have, we're going to. How quick before this team runs out of viable running back,
Oh,
Shane?
my goodness.
Week 3, 4?
Yes.
I mean, what we need like another team full of Mosterts, Gus Bus,
And Gus Buses.
Ramondre, maybe a Tank Bigsby in there. You know what I mean? We need like double that, and then we can get by with all scrubs probably.
Yeah. Any other thoughts here, Shane? 3 hammers from Casey. What are your thoughts on the that QB room? Are you okay with that? Kyler, Watson, Geno. You do have your future picks if need be.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, obviously, Kyler's a top 8 quarterback. Watson could move himself back in that range. Scoring, not value. I don't think I'll ever see that again. But I'm fine with the QB room. Apparently, Geno is the bee's knees.
Shane, on this team, would you move Watson, just given where this team is? We don't know anything about the other teams, right? Would you move Watson for McCarthy?
Pittman, DK. I don't have a legitimate wide receiver 1. Cooper's all
feels like a mid team. Would you collect
DK,
McCarthy and then work on kind of trying to maybe tank this team, or is it too far in with guys like Debo, Cooper, Kirk? It's kind of stuck in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not too far in. That's the thing. So you could. I'd prefer. Well, yeah, I guess the only reason. Yeah, you know what? Because I don't know that you're going to lose a ton from Watson to Geno. At least not so much that it's going to kneecap you. So I'd be okay with that. And then you're taking a shot on the long run on JJ McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so let's keep going. Thank you very much, Casey. We'll move to the back to the comments. Those in the crowd, we've got 558 eyeballs watching right now. Hit that like if you'd be so kind. Easiest way to help out the channel. You can retweet, you can share, you can do whatever platform you're on. We'd appreciate it. Alex has his weekly strategy question, other than name calling. Looking at you, Shane. Says, oh, this is always good. Shane, what's the best way to convince your league mates to expand the format for extra starters? Currently, this is a 10-team Superflex start 9. Help, he says.
I think we all enjoy activity, right? I mean, that's am I roboting? I'm roboting, huh? Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go out and come.
Right when you started, it just he just leaves. Oh,
Then he just bounces. All right, you start here. What's the best way, Scott, to convince your league mates to get extra starters? There's only a start 9, 10 team on this one.
I mean, I think the first argument is that you just speak anecdotally to that we play in a lot of leagues that are deeper, and it allows for more trading, more activity. There's a little more variance that comes into play. A lot of the shallow leagues, I feel like we get questions on, and they are tough to get stuff done. And there's just not a lot of flexibility, not a lot of activity. Whereas some deeper leagues, I mean, it's just more fun when you have more starters. I don't know. I mean, I can get into the war and the variance and all that kind of stuff, but a 10 by 12 is a lot more challenging than a 10 by 9. More players matter. That's 30 extra players that are starting every week, which means what people are interested in is expanded by another 50, 60 players. You know what I mean? Draft picks mean more. It's pretty simple. Just the more you kind of want that type of economy where you have to pay attention and grind a little bit and be active with trades, like those people are going to want deeper starters. The people that are like, my home league, same thing. They're just like, we don't want to change anything. I think that's a lot of people's experiences. And it feels like what Alex is attacking here is people just they're not hearing what he's saying, and he doesn't want to revert to name calling, but we're getting there. What about you, Shane, before
Shane
you
will call names? Shane will call names.
Darth Vader out of here.
Darth Vader down. I don't know if it's any better, to be honest with you. I might have to just take a powder for the rest of the evening.
Oh, you would like that. Let me see you over that. Shane, how are you going to convince your league mates to expand starting rosters?
I think Scott already hit on it. You just not explain to them, but do you guys want activity? Do you want to do more than just draft? Because if you just want to draft, that's fine. We can join a best ball together. We can join fast draft. We can join underdog. I think fast draft's best ball. I don't even know. I haven't drafted there. I'm assuming there's a lot of other sites we could do rather than a league. So if that's all you want to do, you want to be, half-ass it like you do everything else in your life, you fucking losers. Sure. Sorry, I tried not to call names and then I got angry. I'm just imagining going back and forth with everyone and they're like, "Oh, it's stupid. You just want to do that, cousin." I'll yell at them. It promotes activity, and I assume that's why we play fantasy football, right? That's why we're not in a best ball league, because we want to be able to do things in season. Let's expand upon that. And you know what else it does? It makes the scores higher, and it's fun. It's just more fun when you win 175 to 140 as opposed to 85 to 75. It just is. It's a scientific fact.
Alex was recording the stream and he was about to show his league this segment, and we were being real nice about activity.
Yeah.
And then Shane dropped in the effing losers in there, and
Effing
that killed the vibe.
No,
Look,
I don't know. Or it could be a kick in the ass.
What you do is you speak nicely to people first, right? You speak nicely, very calm tones. And then as people don't understand or agree with your points, then you get louder and more aggressive. That's what I've learned in life. So try that approach.
All right, let's go to the next one here from I teased it on the screen, from our friend Graphic 13. This is a 12-team start 11, 2 of which are tight ends. Start 2 tight ends. It's 1.5 in terms of the premium. Bowers and a second, or Kincaid and a third. He took Bowers. You willing to do that too, just for a third second swap? I mean, Bowers is worth more maybe on his own.
This is a litmus test on do you feel the situation or the player should dominate where the market should go? Because I think a lot of people would have taken Bowers over Kincaid, and now you have to pay a higher pick to make the swap. What do you think, Shane? I think this feels like its season is starting in 2 weeks, and I want the guy that has a better projection. That's why Bowers is worth less.
Yeah, I'm taking Bowers. I'm taking Bowers by not a kabillion, but by like an octabillion. Definitely taking him.
Would you do it straight up?
Bowers for Kincaid? Yeah.
So getting the second instead of the third is just gravy.
Yeah, but again, though, and I just want to be transparent to people. I play in however many leagues, so there's also part of me going, well, I already have 6 Kincaids throughout my 33 leagues, and I only have 4 Bowers. I would like more Bowers, so I'll do that. If I wasn't in 34 leagues, I probably still Bowers. I mean, he's a much better prospect than Kincaid was, right? And I liked Kincaid. People seem to think I don't, but I like Kincaid a lot. It's just Bowers has that potential to be Travis Kelce-ish type production. Now, that's a high bar, and the probability of hitting that is low, but it's in his range of outcomes, I think, more so than Kincaid's.
Okay, let's move to the next one here. We have 2 hammers from ZK. Thank you very much. Here's another shallow one. This is a 10-team, 1 QB, half PPR start 8. Mahomes at quarterback, Warren and Gus at running back, Marv, Debo, Flowers, Rashee Rice, Cooper, Hollywood at wide receiver, McBride and Njoku at tight end. As the 101, 108, 201, 225 first. Several offers on the table here. Okay. And we'll start with you on this one, Shane. Again, it's a 10-team, 1 QB start 8. Debo, the 108 and the 201, and you're getting Justin Jefferson.
Are we sure that's Justin Jefferson? Because if it's
is that Jeff Jarrett instead?
Yeah, that can't be. That cannot be Justin Jefferson. Because if it is, you must be joking me, bro. No. Yes, I would absolutely sell Debo 108 and the 201 for JJ McCarthy.
Yes. So this next one wouldn't even come into play because it's the 108 and 201, and you're getting Saquon or Kyron.
Yeah, none of these.
You know how when you accept the first trade and the other 2 just automatically disappear? That's what happens here. You just
unless you're on MFL, those trades just sit out there for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why.
They don't know why either. Probably.
There's a message underneath that says Debo Samuel is no longer on Shane. Shane is the worst roster, so you can't make the deal. Okay, you know that. Like, you have a thing that pops up a message. Can you just close out the offer because it doesn't exist anymore? But anyway, yeah, that's JJ by a kabillion. What was the rest of this roster?
The last one was give Debo get the 106.
If
I would do that one if the person pulls the other one and realizes that they're insane for sending Jefferson for that. See, isn't it funny, guys? 3 questions ago, someone had to give 3 firsts on top of AJ Brown to get Chase, and here someone's giving Justin Jefferson for 2 picks and a 1 QB, not even top 7 picks.
No,
and a
yeah,
1
the
QB
108 and a 1 QB
Debo
is going to be garbage. Yeah,
wild.
Yeah, ZK, do that first one. If that gets pulled, give Debo get the 106. It's funny because in that shallow format too, it's like, I mean, I'll trade Debo for that, but it's not like it's even, crazy value. I don't know. Okay, and then he said, what direction to take this team? You guys are awesome. Keep it up. Will do. Thank you. All right, let's. Whoa, what was that?
Oh,
did your chin hit that?
Whoa,
Mike, my bad.
Easy there, Tiger. Okay, let's go to this strategy question that is starred from Philip J. Fry. That's actually my first name. I don't know if people know that. Thank you for the question. It says, been following DTI 5 since 2021 and have a feeling on how you all play running back. First off, thanks for watching since 2021. That's sweet. How would you play running back in a non-PPR league?
Have we been around since 2021?
Yeah, this is our 3rd year this October.
Oh, Jesus,
October 6th, 2021, bro. It's been almost 3 years.
Math comes at you quick, bro.
How would you play running back in a non-PPR league? So we're old school standard. 12-team Superflex, start 9, 4 point per passing touchdown. No starting running back can be bought for a second. So what are you doing here, Scott? You can't buy a running back in a standard format for less than a second, or a second doesn't even do it.
Let's. I'm assuming that's not true because there are starting running backs that are not very inspiring, but they're technically. I mean, Gus Edwards is a starting running back. So if you can't buy a guy like that for a second, then if that's truly true, wouldn't you be hoarding every running back possible just because there's so many starters that get cycled in throughout a year? I mean, you're holding. You may not be able to get a starter, but I want to pull. If that is, again, I'm operating under the assumption that what he said is 100% true. Wouldn't every running back that is starting eventually after a week, 2, 3, 5, whatever, be also valuable to have / trade? So you're probably just collecting every running back possible if that's truly the inflated market for it. I'm guessing it's not, but I get his point that they're much harder to come by than your typical league because it is standard. It's weird. You hear standard and you go, wait, is that like 12 teams start 10, no tight end premium? And that's what we think when we say standard. Standard is like all you get is yards and touchdowns.
Yeah, my original leagues actually were kind of late to go to PPR, honestly. Now that I think about it, yeah, we were a year or 2 years behind. Standard for a while. Okay, let's get rid of that question. Thank you, Philip. Let's go to this one from Joe M. It is a 1-parter, 3 hammers. We like this. Thank you very much, Shane, sir. 12-team Superflex PPR 1.5 for the tight ends. This is an Orphan, and it's a start 10. 12-team Superflex start 10. Russ Levis at quarterback. Brees Gibbs, Etienne, Moss, Kendre at running back. Pickens, Kirk at wide receiver. Laporta at tight end. Has the 101 and 104. What to do here? He asks Caleb and Neighbors, and then flip Brees / Gibbs for a wide receiver 1. Love you guys. Appreciate it, Joe. What are you doing here, Shane? With the 101, the 104.
It feels like Joe's just paying us for confirmation. Like, yeah, yes. I'm going Caleb and then Neighbors if he's there, and if he's not, then Jaden Daniels. Would I move Brees or Gibbs for a wide receiver 1? Yes. You have a lot of equity tied up in the running back position. If Gibbs or Brees, more likely Brees can get me a wide receiver 1, I'll make that move. Then I still have Gibbs and Etienne starting for me. Kendre, I don't know that we should be naming him at this point. I don't even know if that dude's going to make the roster. Like, he might be what's the word I'm looking for? Sent to the can aisle shortly. But you know,
No, he gets thrown into the dented can bin.
yeah.
He's already a can, but he's
yeah,
dented. You can't
dented.
put him on the shelf.
Can't even get on the field. But yeah, if I can flip Brees or Gibbs for a wide receiver one, I would try. Preferably Gibbs for whatever it's worth, but both of them are on the block, and it's whichever one it takes. I'm fine doing that.
Just Scott. We got 3 hammers from Joe. Help him out here.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give him a little kudos because he doesn't really care what he gets between the top 4 players, right? You have 2 picks in the top 4. You need everything. So if you end up with 2 quarterbacks, you end up with 2 quarterbacks. I do wonder, is there what is the cutoff for receivers, Shane, if you're trading away Brees and Gibbs? Because let's say none of the top 4 are available. Wilson. Are you willing to go? Well, obviously, yeah, that I was just going to ask. Garrett Wilson, Drake London, you willing to go in that range? Because I'm guessing you're not getting one of the top 4. And obviously, Neighbors and Marv just got drafted. So, can you trade one of those guys for one of the other 2 top 4 picks? And then you just draft the 3 that you want. You know what I mean? Because other than that, if you can't, then the receivers available are going to be everyone below the top 6, which then it feels like, what do you want to do there? Because I'm guessing that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'd be willing to move Gibbs for A.J. Brown, Puka Nacua, who else? Not Garrett Wilson, not Drake London, not Chris Olave. So not the fake top 10 guys.
That's the list. Those 2.
Well, then we're not doing it. No, we're not.
So then we just roll with 2 rookie QBs and running backs?
Yeah, it is what it is. Okay. I can't make people send me the wide receiver I want, and I'm not going to settle.
Yeah. You couldn't do a combination deal where you get Drake London and a 26 first, something like that? You wouldn't settle for that on a team like this, where all it has is running backs?
Then I'd be okay with it, yes. But I think the person you're dealing with would be apoplectic. That's not the word at all. That's not how you use that. Not even
big word. I'm not sure if you used it correctly.
You mean like apathetic?
No, definitely didn't use it correctly.
Eclectic?
Yes, eclectic. It's an eclectic. No, they'd be adverse to making that deal. But I guess if I can make that deal, I'd be more apt to. I'm not going to do it straight up for London.
Yeah.
Yeah, using that word took a lot out of me.
What were you trying to say? Apathetic?
Nope. I'll look it up.
He's like, nope. Because that wouldn't have fit either. Okay. All right. Let's go to 2 hammers from AP, Scott. This is a 10. While Shane looks up this mystery word.
No.
What's he even looking up? Because I'm not even sure of what the word was.
No. You threw in like a very basic filler word instead.
Apparently it's about being angry at being mad at something. So yeah, they would be mad at you for sending them that offer. So technically I used it correctly. Thank you, as usual.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. This is actually a good time to put this up actually. From Dean Parkington. Shane is going to drop so much knowledge tonight was his comment. All right, let's go back to this. Let's go back to this one from AP. Scott, it's a 10-team, 1 QB PPR, start 10, hoping to contend. Let's see if he can. Mahomes, Lamar at quarterback, Brees, Monty, Swift, Brooks, Spears at running back, Waddle, London, Neighbors, Reed, Godwin. Then has McBride at tight end, all the future picks. Offering Reed and Monty for Pittman and Pollard. What sort of move should I make to push me into the contender range? Moving a quarterback is not an option right now. Love all the content and the genuine takes you guys bring. I appreciate that. Thank you, AP. So that offer, let's start with that. Offering Reed and Monty for Pittman and Pollard. 10-team, 1 QB, start 10.
Shane, Reed or Pittman? Real quick.
Pittman.
Monty or Pollard, real quick.
Pollard.
Okay, so just by player choice, you would take that. Now, you may also say I like Pollard less than Monty, I don't think that deal really moves you anywhere. But you probably are getting the 2 better options, the 2 easier options for the market right now. But I don't know if that deal really moves you anywhere except for you just get your preference. I was going to initially say you got Lamar and Mahomes in a 1 QB, and then it sounds like he's got Lamar and Mahomes for a reason. I do wonder what the alternative would be, though. Somebody has to be interested in Mahomes or Lamar. I just wonder if it's not at the price that he wants. I don't know. I would be interested. I mean, I don't play any 10-team 1 QBs, but if I did, that would be the quarterback I would be interested in. I just would probably be offering, like, I don't know, Tony Pollard to get one of them, Michael Pittman. You know what I mean? I'd be offering Michael Pittman for one of the QBs to see if I could get a quarterback upgrade. So, I mean, the team can contend because it has Mahomes, Lamar, Breece Hall. It's got a lot of depth at running back, which is typically more needed in a 10-teamer. So, is it going to be the favorite? No, because you probably have some holes at receiver, but everything else is fine. I mean, yeah, it's fine. Do the deal, but I just don't think it moves your team forward that much.
Yeah. Doesn't all the future picks, you don't necessarily have to do anything before the season with this team, right? Isn't that your field too? Kind of see how this thing goes.
Well, we definitely don't need Breece, Monty, Swift, Brooks, and Tajay Spears on this roster. Which one of those could I maybe move for a future first in a 1 QB? Could I move Monty for a first? Swift for a first? So it's a 1 QB. 1 QB. I think you could.
Probably
you
not
could move
Monty,
one of those guys
but Swift maybe.
Then move the one you can get a first for, right? You don't need all 5. You have enough flex power with your receivers. You have a good tight end. You have a backup quarterback that's going to be top 5 if you have to play him. So I would be willing to move one and just hedge my bets.
Sounds like a plan. Okay, we are going on to the next one from Shane. Read that. 2 hammers from
our Treaden.
Treardarn. Not bad. Okay.
No,
I think I probably said
Shane crushed that, and he only saw it for like a half a second. He just seamlessly crushed it.
Yeah, look, all you got to do is say it with confidence. Even if it's incorrect, but you say it with confidence, people will assume you're correct because most people are stupid. So go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so 12-team Superflex PPR 1.75 for the tight ends. Start 12 with 32-man rosters. This is a format right here. JJ McCarthy meniscus has me reconsidering this team. Ranks 6th best contender on DD and not sure which direction to take it. No juggernaut team in the league. Mahomes, Levis, JJ McCarthy at quarterback. Kamara, Swift, Connor, Rob, Charbonnet at running back. Waddle, London, Worthy, Keenan Allen, Wicks, Sutton, Hopkins. And then as Freiermuth, Fant, Conklin at tight ends. 225 firsts, 3 seconds, 226 firsts, and a couple seconds. Any thoughts on whether to tear it down? Shane, what do you think here? Deep format, 12-team, start 12.
I mean, so the first part of this is the fact that JJ McCarthy being out for the season has made you question whether
that's what my face did too. I was like, what?
Yeah, and you already know you're in trouble at that point. Tear down. I don't want to move Waddle, London. I don't want to move Mahomes. There's no chance I remember any other players on this roster. I don't want to move those guys, but if I could move off of.
The problem is everything else you can't move. Connor, Sutton, Keenan, Hopkins.
So, I'm not moving Worthy, but let's say you could move Keenan and Swift for a couple seconds, spread out over a couple years. Could you move Connor and Rob, who has now a new nickname, Rob and Connor for a second? Would you do something like that, knowing that you got to backfill with waiver wire running backs, which I'd be okay with, and just compete as best I can with that roster? Because, again, I'm not moving Waddle. I'm not moving London. I'm unlikely to move Worthy. Keenan can go. Wicks, whatever. I saw a question in there. Someone say that in the chat, someone was asking, should they move Wicks for a 26 second? Yes, do that. You can't move Sutton. Hopkins, you can't move. Muth, you can't move. Fant, you can't move. Conklin, not even a real person. So I'd move off. Yes, I would try to move off those running backs and just get seconds for him. I would combine them and be okay with that. And Keenan as well. He could be one of those guys that's thrown in to get me a second.
Shane, if I would give you 7 days worth of iced coffees, would you move Keenan?
Yes.
Tearing it down.
That's how little he's worth.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is dude is 645 pounds right now. He's
basically an inside linebacker.
Yes. Like from the 80s too, like a big one, not like one of these like new age, like 205-pound linebackers they got nowadays. No, he's a 1980s linebacker. He's going to wear the neck roll.
I would totally roll.
Big.
I would totally rock the neck roll.
Yeah, but if I
could.
If I can move off the running backs, and quite frankly, if I could find someone to take Levis from me for a first, well then, yeah, I'll move Levis too, because then I'm rolling out Mahomes and probably I don't even know who I would run out in the flex, and I probably wouldn't have a great season, but I'm assuming one of those firsts is yours, so fine. And then I'd have an additional first, hopefully from Levis. And then when JJ comes back next year, then we can reevaluate where we are.
Are you tearing this down, Scott? Where's your head at?
I mean, the answer is probably you should try, but what I see a lot of people do is they cannot stomach just how little they can get for the players they have. So like Shane's idea is, can I combine Kamara with Keenan Allen and get a 26 second? Like that's the kind of offer you would get. And you're like, there's no way I can do that. But the response is, the team that's offering you that is the only team that would offer you anything at all. So it's like, do you take the bird in the hand, or unless your league is really active, you could just wait and try to sell them as they have a good game. Like just try to sell them as it appears they're going to might be a little bit better than what the market is, but you got to be on top of your shit. Like, and you got to be willing, when Alvin Kamara scores 23 points in week 1, you know what you got to do? Be willing to trade him for a second, not hold out for more because he just had a good game. For most people, it's like this self-fulfilling, oh, he had a good game, so now he's worth more. And then the person that would want him goes, I'm not paying that much. And then they wait again, and you just never get a deal done.
Yeah, or try the third second swap if you can't stomach getting rid of them for a single second. Give a second and a third and try to get 2 seconds. Always worth a shot, depending on how savvy your league is. Okay, are we good on that one? Did we answer that? We did. See, I thought his username or her username, it looked like teardown. So maybe it was supposed to be something like that, and like the fingers just lost control. This fantasy plumber says this team needs to open waiver spots to marginally improve through the season.
That's a really good point, is that when you have a team like that, there's actually opportunity cost by not doing anything, because you're sitting with guys like Noah Fant, Cortland Sutton, Tyler Conklin. I mean, those guys are okay if the premium mattered, or some best ball or something like that. But for the most part, all of those assets on that team are just chilling there. As much as I wouldn't rather have, like, think of a player that you could pick up in a 12 by 10, 25-man roster league that someone might not be able to carry. Like a Javon Baker, Jordan Whittington, that type of player. Like, you'd rather add that, right? That actually has a chance to be thrown into a deal that somebody might want, versus I'm pretty sure they're never going to want Noah Fant, Cole Kmet. They're just there. So you're better off freeing some roster spots. I agree with that. It's a really good point.
Shane, Cade asks, do y'all like PPC? Point per carry for anybody hearing PPC.
Yes, we do. Absolutely.
How much, Shane? What's too much? Are the ones that are like 0.33, 0.25, are those too much, do you think?
I think 0.25 is getting into the realm of too much ability. So 0.25 is my cutoff. I think that is.
I like 0.15. I like 0.15 personally.
A little bit of a taste, but not too overwhelming to where
just the tip.
Yeah.
Like I'm good with 0.25. Look, because I hate running back, so I kind of like pain. I'm a sadist. I've talked about this before, so I kind of like you forcing me to do things that I don't want to do, and that's care about running backs, because it's a 0.25. But also, it does bring more strategy, and it does bring more players, makes more players valuable than normally, because it's a lot of the leagues we're in have PPC, but when leagues don't have PPC, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's like, all right, what do I need? Quarterbacks and wide receivers. Like, that's all I care about. That's why I like tight end premium. That's why I like PPC and tier.
I once played in a league that was 0.25 point per carry, and it was 0.25 PPR for running backs. So like Gus Edwards is like the guy to have, you know what I mean? Like somebody that doesn't get catches but gets carries is what everybody wanted. And like Jaleel McLaughlin that don't want him at all. You know what I mean? Like it's a very interesting format that made you think totally differently to what you normally would.
Ben Juco, we'll stay with you here, Scott. This is a 10-team Superflex PPR 1.5 for the tight end, start 10. Mahomes, Dak, Penix at quarterback, Brees, Kamara, Pollard, Connor. And then we have Tyreek, Chase, AJ Brown, Marv, Keenan Allen, Godwin, Leggett. Andrews at tight end has a 25 seconds and future picks in 26 and beyond. The question is trade Marv and Kamara for Puka and ETN. One other powerhouse team in the league. You guys are a big reason I've been able to create this monster. Appreciate the help, fellas. That's awesome. Appreciate you. Thanks for the hammer. What do you think about this trade, Scott? It's a 10-team. Shane, is that you? Mute, Shane.
I did.
Was that Scott? I don't know what. Yeah, it's somebody. Is that you, Scott? I'll move this to Shane.
Oh yeah, move to me. I'll fix it. Hold on.
Okay, Shane, are you trading Marv and Kamara for Puka and ETN?
No.
Okay.
I mean, the upgrade from Kamara to ETN probably production-wise, because that's really what I'm looking at a running back, probably isn't enough to move me off of Marvin Harrison to Puka, even if I do love Puka.
What do you think?
Better now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I'm not giving up Marv here. I can stomach the ETN to Kamara deal. I already have. He says there's already a powerhouse team. The last thing I want to do is give up a powerhouse asset when I don't know what I might need to do later. So yeah, I'm not making this deal, even though it appears you're getting the second and third best player, and you're probably looking at this like the gap between Puka and Marv is not as far as the gap between ETN and Kamara, but I don't really care about the running back gap there. I just want the better asset, so I'm keeping Marv.
Yeah, no doubt. Agreed. Let's go to two hammers from Purple Jersey, Shane. 12-team Superflex, start 10. It's 2.0 for the tight ends, 1 full PPR for everybody else. Love, Young, Darnold, JJ McCarthy, AOC, and Minshew at quarterback. Gibbs, Jacobs, Barkley, Zamir, Chubb, and Bucky Irving makes a list. Has JJ, Garrett Wilson, McLaurin, Dio John, Leggett at wide receiver, then Andrews, Kittle, and Fergie. No picks until 27. Does this roster get it done? Should I go make another splash? There's a deal on the table to acquire Tyreek in a mid to late first for my McLaurin, Ferguson, AOC, Minshew, a 26th, third, and fourth, and half of his fab.
Oh, dude,
do it before the question is over being read.
Do that immediately.
Good.
The other owner is thinking about it, but might hold steady. Thoughts?
Okay. Throw in a second to get it done.
That's the conversation is what do we need to do to get
what do I need to
take out the first that I'm getting, and I would still do the deal.
Yeah.
Oh wait, and a mid to late for
He's
my god.
Getting a first
was on the other. I thought the first was on the other side. And I was still like smash. Oh yeah, just take out the first. Take out the first right now. That's a big concession. That's one of those concessions. It's not even a concession because you had no right to expect it anyway. You know what I mean? It's like getting paid quadruple time on a holiday. You were only going to hope for double, and someone's giving you quadruple time. So when they're like, we're not giving you quadruple time, we're just giving you double, you take it. So absolutely make that deal. So then you've got Tyreek, JJ, Gibbs.
Yeah, Tyreek, JJ, Gibbs.
Jacobs, Barkley. That's a good running back room. I'd probably look to move Jacobs or Barkley as soon as possible. Yeah, yeah, so you've got Garrett Wilson as your wide receiver 3. Your quarterback room's a little sketch, obviously. Even if you take out some of the sketch with AOC and Minshew going away, but at that point, can I move Darnold? Excuse me, not Darnold. Can I move McCaffrey and Young for a real quarterback? Something like that.
You don't have McCaffrey. You have McCarthy.
That's what I said.
He was there for
No,
a second.
I said McCaffrey.
That's okay.
Yeah.
In what world does somebody even consider that giving up a first and Tyreek for all that other junk?
Someone's looking at a trade calculator and going, yeah, if you just keep adding stuff.
I'm not even sure the trade calculator. You could add 25 thirds in there, Shane. I don't know.
Someone trade calculate that.
My fear with this one, if the other owner is thinking about it but might hold steady, I'm looking at the offer that what I'm giving, and it's just embarrassing. It's gross and embarrassing. I want to get rid of the 26th, 3rd, and 4th. I want to make this look cooler while still getting a good deal. See what I'm getting at? Like, you got half of the fab, you got a 3rd and a 4th, a couple trash can quarterbacks.
Yeah, the other owner is going to come back and go, we're close. You just have to add Zamir Gibbs and it'll be even. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're that far really away. But he'll be like, hey, we're only one player off. But you just have to add your best player and we'll get it done. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, you have some flexibility, in other words, purple jersey, to sharpen your pencil a bit, let's say. Okay, let's keep on rolling here. We are 56 minutes in. It is 9:43. We have 787 people watching us. Thanks so much for doing so. Let's hit that 1,000 burger though. Okay, we've got Joey Morford. Shane, this is a 12-team Superflex start 11, punting year 1. The team is Mahomes at quarterback. Trash cans other than him. You have Lloyd and more trash. And then you have Chase, Nico, Ayuk, and then Michael Mayer at tight end. 425 first, 425 seconds, 226 first and seconds. Are you consolidating this roster more? Let's see. Are you consolidating this roster more using Ayuk and Nico for another stud wide receiver or QB? How do you like to build your roster if you know you're punting? Okay. Interesting here, Shane. 12 teams, start 11. You see your assets there. Mahomes.
No. You know, I think I've been quite wrong on Nico. The more the preseason has gone on, I think Nico is clearly going to be a monster this year. And the Steph Diggs addition isn't going to hurt him in any way whatsoever. It's going to hurt Dell. So, no, I think Nico's better than we think. But Nico and Ayuk in a start 11, that's a very good wide receiver 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. If you do happen to get another wide receiver in the mix that's somehow better than Nico, those guys as your 3 and 4 is monstrous. So in a start 11, no, I'm not consolidating. No, I'm not, because it's start 11. So you can't consolidate to 3 players, which is where you would leave yourself with Mahomes, Chase, and this mythical Nico Ayuk addition to the roster. And I like that Lloyd's and then cans. That lets me know how bad you're.
You had to put one running back in there.
And
I originally read it as cans of cheese.
Yum. And your team is so thin that those 425 firsts, I'm probably going to see if I can split 1 or 2 of those, to be quite honest with you. So no, I'm not consolidating any further, and I love consolidating.
It's a fun team to have, though, when you have those 4 players and all those picks. I mean, this is another one of those where, you know, you can have some fun with what you can do with what you have on the team now in terms of splitting, trading back. You know, like you can play this another year and still be on the perpetual upswing. There's going to be a point where you're going to have to turn it into more players, but it's a fun roster for now.
We've got 5 hammers, Scott, from Jury. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. So again, this is buymeacoffee.com/tradesin5, and you'll see it in the episode description too. Thanks again. He says, long time listener, first time sender. Appreciate you. 12 team Superflex PPR 1.5 for the tight end, start 10. We've got Kyler, Goff, Cousins, at quarterback, Jacobs, Kamara at running back, Amon-Ra, London, Adams, Evans, Keenan at wide receiver, Goddard at tight end. All future picks, the activity is mid to high. the extra game. There's an extra game versus the median. Have an offer which seems steep. Send London a 25 first, a 26 first, and a 25 second for Justin Jefferson. Says great show. Thank you very much. All right, so Scott, 12 team superflex, start 10, small tight end premium. Are you giving London a 25 first and second and a 26 first for JJ?
Yeah, this team is fairly mid. I think it's got some veterans, but I'm kind of concerned having to trade my first and another first and Drake London on a team where I'm already riding Kamara, Jacobs, Adams, Evans, Keenan Allen, Kirk Cousins. Like, this team feels like, doesn't this feel like if this team breaks wrong, Shane, and ages out quicker than you think, and you traded your next two firsts, it's just dead in the water? As Shane,
you're very old, yeah, Shane.
Yeah, I mean,
giving
the thing is, yes, with Adams, Evans, Keenan Allen, Cousins, Jacobs, and Kamara, that's like your insides have just melted. Like, that's, your exoskeleton, which is Kyler and one other dude. Nice, but as soon as someone pokes you, it just collapses. So
yeah, you got to bet on London on this team. You don't have the luxury to trade all your flexibility. And what is London? His third best asset you're just not in a position to make that kind of up tier deal. Not yet.
It's good that it's a mid to high activity league, though. So that's nice. When you have a team like this, you have a chance to be able to turn it around.
Cool. Can I move Adams to our first?
Can I move Adams, Evans, and 2 firsts for Jefferson? Would you do that?
Yes. Because
you're not doing that, Clay?
No, I'm not giving my first away on this team. I don't like it.
That is fair. So then would you go, we don't normally ask Clay, would you go the other way, Clay? Would you be moving some of the players you can move? You probably can't move Keenan Allen, probably not Adams, but would you be moving Josh Jacobs? Would you be just getting out? Would you be punting now or waiting?
I might wait with this team. I might send it out onto the field. See how it does. This reminds me of my squirt team, where it's like my squirt team's more stacked than this, but where it's like I can't really move the players that I want to move, so just keep rolling with it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not jockeying with this one too much. I would end up just moving to a different league and see what I need to do over there. Yep. Hey, let me ask you a question. This is a question for a friend. Oh, wait, no, he gave us 5 hammers. Let's talk more about this team. So quarterback, Kyler, Goff, Cousins. As it stands right now, are you okay with that?
I mean, I'd rather have something different, but it goes back.
Hey, look, you've got these first. You've got these first, the 25, 26 first.
I was just going to ask, what would you be willing to add to, like, is this a QB upgrade away from potentially taking a lot of those older pieces and trying to win, Shane? Do you have would you move Goff and your 25 first for Jordan Love?
Yes, maybe. I don't know. I think I'm too low on Goff. Where did Goff finish at PP points per game last year, by the way?
I think it's a fair deal, but I guess my question is, you're not getting an elite QB, right?
Right.
But you could probably upgrade. It's just, is this a team where you're like, I have Goff, I want to upgrade, but the cost to move to a tier above Dak, Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, that's probably not worth a first, right?
Oh, there's a good one in the chat. What about Goff and a first for Jaden Daniels?
I mean, if you have that conviction, I think it's on the table. I think there's teams that would be interested in a deal like that if they also need assets. I'm just not sure this team is in the position to be throwing around honestly, their first is probably one of their top 4 assets, to be honest, given that their team is kind of in the middle and it's a 25 pick. That takes a lot of balls, I think, to move that first with Goff for just a rookie QB,
For what it's worth, that guy, Jordan Love, outscored Goff by about almost 2 points per game last year. And that was a fairly high season for Goff, 17 point, whatever it was last year. For whatever that's worth.
Yeah. Yeah, good to know. So, strategy question from Colin that was starred here. Thank you for the question. 12-team Superflex. This is half PPR. Looks like you get a half point for first downs as well. Let's just assume PPR and you get that extra first down bonus. Start 9. Kyler Watson, Caleb or Daniels. Okay, what are we doing here? How am I going to read? I don't know how to read tonight. 12-team Superflex, Kyler Watson, and then he says Caleb or Daniels, CMC, Connor, Olave, Wilson, London, Marv Neighbors, Trey McBride, and Hawk. How to transition? Does it even matter? Okay. What do you
So he has 3 of the top 4 firsts, I assume, because he's getting Caleb or Daniels and Marvin Neighbors. Okay.
Yeah, right.
I mean, what he has on the screen is in a 12-team start 9 is a pretty dominant squad. Is it going to win the championship this year? Maybe not, but I mean, it could. You got enough upward mobility. I mean, you have players that are going to get just better, probably. You know what I mean? And you have an extra quarterback between Kyler, Caleb, Watson. I mean, yeah,
You got the Kyler stack with McBride and Marv. I mean, it's going.
If you have this team, you're thinking you're a contender, right, Shane? Pretty much. You have a top 3 tight end. You have Christian McCaffrey. You have 5 good receivers. I mean, you can start Neighbors and Marv right away. I mean, hell, they're both top 20 redraft receivers, right? And you have Kyler, Caleb, Daniels, Watson. I mean,
yeah, I've got
a top 4 team.
I have a lot of assets that this is a league where I'm trying to consolidate. Now I know it's start 9, so some of your league mates might not acquiesce to your demands there. But yeah,
what do you need here? If I told you I could move Deshaun Watson plus TJ Hawkinson, what would be the best player I could get?
Probably not enough to make you want to make the move.
Jared Watson Goff and Hawk, and you get back Saquon.
Maybe. No, I'm going to pass. Pass.
I don't know if you get an asset better if you're trying to move those 2. You probably got to move something. Yeah. What else would you move then?
I mean, Olave. Wilson,
what receiver are you trying to move?
Olave, Wilson, London.
But what are you adding to them? Are you giving 2 of them for a hammer?
Yes.
Okay. So you give Olave and London for Puka?
Yes.
Are you doing that, Clay?
I wasn't listening.
Olave and London for Puka?
For Puka.
I will keep Olave in London.
Yeah. See, that's just the being scared of Puka. Because if Puka's name wasn't Puka, let's just call Puka what he scored at last year. Let's call him
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson. Would you do that deal? No, that's not even the same conversation. I was going to say AJ Brown, but AJ Brown's 27, so there's really not a good corollary for someone that's Puka's age, but with a different name. Jamar Chase. I can't say Jamar Chase either.
Would you do London? I get it, though. London and Wilson for Puka and a first.
Oh, smash!
I'll take Puka in the first in that one.
You're gonna have to be creative, right? You're not just you don't have any bad enough players unless it's Watson or Hawk where you're just adding to get an upgrade. You're gonna have to find a way to go, okay, I'm gonna give 2 of these receivers for a better piece, and I got to get something coming back. Maybe it's not a first, but it's got to be something usable. That's the way to do it.
Scott, we got 3 hammers from Duffman. Thank you very much. Duffman. 12-team Superflex, PPR, 1.5 for the tight end, 6 point per passing touchdown, start 11. Hurts, McCarthy at running back. That's not ideal. Running back, trash cans. Garrett Wilson, Olave, Leggett, Wicks, Franklin at wide receiver, Chig at tight end. Started a rebuild and have 325 first, 2 seconds. I've done enough to get the 101 next year. What do I do with the remaining assets? Hold and sit tight, or should I be trying to offload Hurts, Wilson, Olave? And if so, who would you be aiming for? Thanks, guys. So Duffman has a 12-team Superflex start 11, so quasi deep. What are you doing here? I mean, this team is rough. It's only got 325 first. I hope you I was hoping he was going to have 7 firsts over the next 2 years.
I mean, the gods have already knocked McCarthy out for you, so you don't have to worry about any points there. I think with these assets, like I don't have to move Wilson, Olave, or Hurts in a rebuild, even though this team is multiple years away, right? But I am going to take advantage of what typically happens. What happens if a Lamar Jackson gets injured, Shane? You think that team would be interested in a Jalen Hurts for Lamar Jackson swap at that point? Yes.
Yes.
That's when you take 3 strong assets like that and you say, oh, okay, you just lost your Amon-Ra. Well, I have Chris Olave available, but I need Amon-Ra for Olave. Amon-Ra's out for the season, right? Like that's the desperation move. I did that last year when Burrow got out. I moved a couple Lawrence and a seconds for Burrow and a first. And now I have a better asset to move, and I got the first. But it was only because I had a team that I didn't care about, but I was willing to take the risk when other people were desperate. So that's what I would do. Hurts, Olave, Wilson, I'm not desperate to move them. But if there's an elite quarterback injury, you know, Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, even the tier lower, if you can get an extra first on top, that's when you're like, here, I have Jalen Hurts available. And they're going to be excited, right? Because they're going, oh my God, I can turn my Lamar into Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
like, that's a bailout. Yes, that's a bailout. So yeah, that's how I would use those players instead of trying to just move them right now.
No doubt. Okay, let's keep going here. We're just gonna go for another here. Let's just knock out these last 2 hammers actually in the hopper. We've got one from Wildlife Holistic Family Health. when I saw this one, I was I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here, but we're gonna answer. We're gonna answer this hammer.
That is the greatest handle ever. Anyway.
Shane, this is a 10-team 1 QB PPR 1.5 for the tight end start 10. Goff, Love, Fields, Penix at quarterback. JT, ETN, Rashad White, Brown, Spears, Rico Dowdle, and Chuba Hubbard. Then we have AJ Brown, Ayuk, Smitty, Rice, Dell, Kirk, Hollywood, Worthy. JMO makes a list. McBride and Hawkinson at tight end. 325 first and all future picks in 26 and beyond. What do I do with this team after finishing second last year? So here's the team again, Shane. 10-team, 1 QB, start 10. What are you doing with it?
I'm wondering how it won last year. But I guess that wasn't really the question, huh? I'm perplexed. Because your quarterback in a 1 QB wasn't very impressive. Oh, Fields. He had Fields. JT, no. Sorry. I'm just still trying to wrap my head around.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
We're watching Shane's brain work live on the stream.
Like what? In a 10x10 1 QB league, I don't like this team. I don't understand how it ended up in second last year. I'm still perplexed by that. I'm sorry. I can't even wrap my head around like, okay, I want a different quarterback. Well, I guess
the funny thing is AJ Brown faded. Dell was out. Christian Kirk was out. Fields missed a ton of time at the end of the year. I mean, he had some players that came on at the end of the year last year for sure. Like McBride came on at the end of the year. ETN was good last year. So
I mean, here's the thing. So no one, I'm sure I'll tell you to trade players, but are you going to get what you want for Ayuk, Smitty, for Dell, for Kirk? Obviously not for Hollywood. Personal walking around in an arm sling. Nobody wants him. Your running backs are Chase Brown and Spears. It's 10x10. I want a better running back. At least one better running back. Like Chase Brown and Spears.
I mean, the team's competitive.
I'm sorry.
JT,
I missed,
ETN, and Rashad
100% missed JT and ETN. 100% missed them. That's on me.
Yeah, it's competitive. It's not a sexy team, meaning like you don't have your assets in assets that you're super excited about. But when you set this lineup, I mean, if you get decent QB play, you're rolling out JT, ETN, White, some combination of Brown, Spears. I mean, AJ Brown, Smith. I mean, this is a good team. I don't want to say it doesn't have hammers, but that's what it's missing. But it is a good team. It's probably a top 4 team, easy.
So I'm not really sure. I don't see much to change with this team other than
you've got like 325 first Got 325 first to work with, if you so
Well,
choose.
I'll just say this: you try to consolidate, you try to upgrade, you're going to get shut down. There's a reason that you probably have future picks already, is because those deals aren't on the table. So continue to do it. To start 10, I don't need Chase Brown on this team. I don't need Rashad White on this team.
No.
Like, move a couple more players for future firsts, and you just kind of hope that at some point you have 8 future firsts, and your team is still going to be moderately competitive, right? If you can't go upward, go downward to the slimmest of margins, but hold all your value in the picks.
Right.
You know how you get hammers when you can't buy hammers? You get them through draft picks.
Draft picks.
At least take your chance and buy some time until you actually have those picks being matured on your roster. So you got plenty of assets here. You got Hollywood Brown, Christian Kirk, your wide receiver 6 and 7. Trade Tank Dell for a first. You know what I mean? Just put one of those guys in their place. It's not going to kill your team at all.
Let's go to 5 hammers from Clark Kent 302. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. So this is a 14-team Superflex PPR start 10. Burrow, Murray, Penix at quarterback.
He's got that borrow.
Got that borrow. He's going to borrow it. Burrow, Murray, Penix at quarterback.
You can't unsee it now, can you, Clay?
It's like Ron Burgundy. He'll read anything put in front of him. Burrow, Murray, Penix, JT Gibbs, Lloyd, Charbonnet at running back. We've got Chase, AJ Brown, Marv, Worthy, Ladd at wide receiver. Pitts, McBride at tight end. 225 first, 325 second, and all the future picks. You guys are by far the best crew. Thank you very much. As I'm yawning, whew, I'm tired. Beach sun. Appreciate all your hard work and dedication. Shane, go Birds. 25 kickers being replaced with a flex. There you go. Inbox trade. Penix or McBride for Rashee Rice, or stay put and build through the draft. So what do you think about that inbox trade? You can give either Penix or McBride for Rashee Rice, and this was no tight end premium. 14 teams start 10.
I'll trade Penix for Rice.
He's your QB3.
I'm definitely not trading McBride for Rice, because what I'm doing to the rest of the tight ends in the league when it's a 14-teamer and I have 2 of the top 6, that is definitely impacting what other teams have at tight end. So I'm not moving McBride for Rice. If you told me you wanted Rice and that's what it took, I'm not going to hate trading Penix, because you have a good team, right? I mean, this is already a pretty stacked team. So if you took Rice, he's definitely a starter. He's probably your last flex. He's definitely an over Ladd. If I get Rice, Shane, can I add a first to Burrow to go get Mahomes? And now I have Rice, Worthy, and Mahomes.
Yeah, I know. You might as well just lean into it.
Like something fun like that if you're going to do it. Otherwise, like, this team can win as it is. You do not have to trade. Michael Penix is like a free first you're stashing in the form of as soon as he starts. You've already seen the excitement for him now. Wait till Kirk Cousins does exactly what he's done his whole career and just been underwhelming. People call for his job, and not that he's bad, but you know what he is. At some point, the pumpkin's going to get busted, and you're going to go, man, it's time to put Penix in. You're going to want some Penix. And if Rashee Rice is a wide receiver 2-3, you're going to wish you had Penix at that point. You know what I mean? And like, you don't have a team where you have to trade him. So I don't know. If you can get Mahomes and now you have Worthy, Rice, and Mahomes, then that's fun. That's more fun than what you have right now. But shy from that, I'm not rushing to do either one of these deals. The team's already stacked.
Yeah. No, for sure. 5 hammers. Let's give some other thoughts on what you could do with this team.
Move Ladd for a 26 first, Shane?
Yeah, move Ladd for a 26 first. You're already
What would you move Pitts or McBride for in a 14-teamer, knowing one of them can be flexed and the impact you're having by now, because you have both chains, somebody now is starting like Jonnu Smith. You know what I mean? Like,
with McBride, if somebody wants McBride off me, they're breaking up a stack. So that's an extra tax.
And I have Penix and Pitts. That could be a hell of a stack real soon. I've
already traded Penix.
For Rashee Rice.
For Rashee Rice. So he gone. I mean, is Pitts that much of a difference maker that you want to move him? Now I know
It's not about
obviously
if he's a difference maker. It is the impact I have on my league. So you have to pay me 30% more than his market to break up the impact I have. So if you're going to give me Drake London, Garrett Wilson, I'll do it.
Yes.
Not
So
Rashee Rice.
That's kind of my point, though. So you're moving Pitts if you do move Pitts, and the person that's getting him is assuming that this is a tight end that's going to be better than Jonnu Smith, better than David Njoku, better than Evan Ingram, better than all these guys. They're going to stick him in their lineup, and then what are they going to find out? He's not better than Evan Ingram. He's not better than David Njoku. And guess what? The 3 weeks a year that Jonnu Smith is actually functionable, he outscores him. You know what I mean? What you'll find out is like you could have just streamed. But again, it depends on what you're getting back. If you're just getting Rashee Rice, probably not.
Most likely, though, the team after Pitts is not the team that has Evan Ingram already. It is the team that needs a tight end, and they're trying to buy them for a nondescript piece that is not as scarce as the tight ends. I agree with you. I think it's risky to say I'm just going to flex Kyle Pitts every week and he's going to be just as good as a wide receiver 3. You know what I mean? That's risky.
Yeah,
but
considering we did
for
that
now, the only benefit you have, because you do happen to have Pitts and McBride, is the added benefit is the fact that you are kind of changing the tight end landscape by having both. It doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So, Shane, would you give Burrow a first and Ladd McConkey for Mahomes?
Ladd McConkey does not even matter in this equation. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely, I would do that.
The other league mates like, Ladd doesn't even count in this. You don't need to do this. No, Shane's like, no, please take Ladd McConkey off of me.
Please take him off my team.
Please. Clark Kent's 302. Thank you for those hammers. Appreciate it. Scott, what is this draft exercise that we're going to go through here?
It was a question from Alan Zito. I thought this would be fun to end the show. Redo a rookie draft, and we're going to start at the 105. We're not even going to debate Neighbors versus Caleb versus Marv versus Jaden Daniels. They're clearly the top 4 picks. All of them have been good thus far. Like you guys agree? They're just we're taking them out of the equation.
Let's just at least between the 3 of us just lay them out to have a 101 through. So what's the format we're going off of here? 12 team, super flex, start 10.
Do our typical 1.75. I mean,
all right,
I almost wanted to avoid the top 4 because I don't even know the order. I'd take Caleb first just because he doesn't have to do much for people to go, holy shit, like he's the next best quarterback ever. Like I would take him 101.
I'll take Marv 102.
All right, well then I'm going to take Malik Neighbors at 103.
All right, Daniels 104. Okay, let's go. We need to make it a number where we all get the same number of picks. So we're going to go to the 204. That feels like a good cutoff. So Shane, you can have the 105. We'll go Shane, Clay, Scott.
Brocktavius Bowers.
Interesting. Okay. Clay?
I guess I'll go Dunze.
I mean, come on. That's the obvious pick. Now is where it come on. It's a Dunze. It's for sure a Dunze. Now it gets interesting because there's like 6 players you could take here. I'm still, you know what? Fuck it. I'll go Xavier Worthy.
Oh,
I think there's a better chance that a sucker will be after him than Drake May. Drake May is probably just going to look awful the whole season. So give me Xavier Worthy. Abandon all process.
Legitimately forgot Drake May was in this draft, but I still would have taken Brocktavius. But now I'll take Drake May.
Okay.
Clay
109.
I will take Jonathan Brooks off your hands.
Okay. I think Brian Thomas is getting a lot of buzz. He's another one where if he comes out and he's just the best receiver they have right away, that's another guy that could explode. So I'll go Brian Thomas 110.
Wait, so JJ McCarthy's on the board still?
JJ McCarthy is there at 111. Are you taking him or Bo Nix?
Oh, is Nix and Penix?
I'm taking JJ McCarthy, and I can't believe May fell to me at 108 and McCarthy at 111 or 109.
Just collecting shitty QBs. Here he goes.
Hey, I like Drake May a lot, and JJ McCarthy is loved in the state of Minnesota. So I just need to find a Vikings fan, and I can repurpose him.
112, Clay. Is this Bo Nix time?
Likely. I love me some Bo Nix. I have a feeling about him. I will take Bo Nix.
I will follow suit, and I will go with Michael Penix. Easy to take him in the second. You're going to get an asset you're going to be able to move. So, Shane, the last three picks are tough. We have Thomas, Adunze, Worthy, Penix, Nix, McCarthy, May, Brooks, and Bowers off the board, besides the top four, obviously. 202. Which rookies are in this class again?
I've heard nothing good about Ladd McConkey, so no.
Keon Coleman, he's fun.
Keon Coleman has been a ghost.
Curtis Samuel's injured, so they really don't have anybody.
What? Curtis Samuel's injured? That is shocking. I am shocked.
Yeah, big shocker there.
Yeah, BTJ is already off the board, right? So it's Corum or Coleman. Man. Let me go with Blake. I'm gonna go with Blake.
Okay. Clay?
What do you guys think about Trey Benson?
I think that it's concerning that he's not being used on third downs, and he's not thought of.
There was positivity from the last preseason game, at least.
Yeah,
it sounds like he is going to be the backup running back. As much as people talked about DeMercado and Michael Carter, he's going to have at least a small role probably to start. So I'm okay with him. But I think there's nothing about him that says he could be Tank Bigsby or Kendre Miller, or he could be Rashad White. Like there's a lot of variance in what those guys become. So
I guess I would probably take Keon Coleman.
Keon, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would have gone Keon just because I think there's going to be opportunity. If he's good right away, he's going to have opportunity right away. I mean, he's one of their only guys that's played like every single rep or snap with the first team. So like he's going to be out there week one. So I would have taken him. This is tough. Because I think you can make arguments for like 6 or 7 other players. I mean, you kind of still got to go Ladd McConkey, don't you?
Like, not really.
I mean,
I'll go 80 Mitchell over him.
I think you do have to, just because of the situation.
No.
I don't have to do anything. Can't make me do anything. What is Ladd McConkey doing? He's the wide receiver 6 on that team right now. I don't know if that math is correct, but he's definitely not in the top 3. I know that.
I'm not taking Trey Benson. Is there even anybody else to get excited? There's no other quarterbacks. Xavier Legette, no.
Legette.
Pearsall, no.
Right now too, right? Pearsall's injured.
No.
What's the chat saying? Is the chat helping us out with a name here?
Nah, I've seen McConkey. I've seen some random ones, but I think Marshawn Lloyd's out. Man. Yeah, like Josh is saying, I think this is a deep class until you get to this point and we have reality of training camp here. And you're going
80 Mitchell.
These picks. I mean, 80's gotten a lot of buzz. Jalen Polk I'm thinking of what can happen early if I have them now. I'm not even forecasting, are these players going to be great? It's after 3 weeks, who would the community be over the moon for? And it's probably, Graphic 13 is joking, but like Braylon Allen is not, I think Braylon Allen goes in the second round if we did a redraft.
Jalen Polk. Josh is saying, I thought this, that's not the right message. Josh is saying, I thought this was a deep class. It is a deep class. There's a bunch of guys I still like here. I still like Jalen Polk a lot.
You just would rather pay the 304 rather than the 204, right?
Ray Davis. No, this is really good.
I think you could argue Ray Davis is the RB3 in the class right now. Him and Braylon Allen have probably been, you can probably flip Ray Davis and Braylon Allen with Marshawn Lloyd and Trey Benson. Like they're almost all in the same range.
No, that's really short-sighted and not, I would not do that. I'll say that nicely.
You take Marshawn Lloyd over Ray Davis and Braylon Allen?
Yes. Braylon Allen's only path to viability is hoping that Breece Hall gets injured. First of all, if you wish for something like that, you're just an evil, evil human being who doesn't deserve nice things. But 2, There's no second point to that. There's literally none. There's no other path to viability for him other than Breece Hall getting hurt. Like, even what's he going to get? 30%? He's not getting 30% of that work.
You know what my eyes tell me, because Clay's always I need to see it first, right?
Mhm.
You know who looks good, Clay? Jalen Wright. That's a guy that could be. He's one injury away from your going.
The
Okay,
narrative.
I wish I had a ton of Jalen Wright.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't have I only have Marshawn Lloyd. I only have a couple of him.
I'd go Ladd, Mitchell, or I'd probably go Ladd or Mitchell, just because I think I can flip them quicker. It's probably going to be Ladd. As much as I don't want to say it, that's where I would go. So,
my God, I have no Jalen Wrights. I must have traded them all.
It's depressing.
How'd that happen?
Oh man. Okay, so that we have 930 eyeballs still with us, an hour and a half in. We are going to call it an evening. I saw Cade saying one more hammer. Well, your hammer just came in. We do have some in the hopper that we're catching up on, but if you want to get your trade answered live on a live stream, go to buymeacoffee.com/tradesin5. Just don't make it too time sensitive, because it takes us a little bit to get to them. So, inbox offers or on the clock type stuff isn't really the best application for it. But
Bucky Irving. Good. That's a good one. Blossom breaks. Oh, sorry.
Bucky could have been on there. Oh, you're fine.
Honestly, we will be able to turn hammers probably a little quicker during the season, because there's not as much going on outside of what's going on in the season. So, I mean, those are probably going to be more like, I'm just doing this offer today because I'm preparing for this week. You know what I mean? So hopefully we can do them a little quicker then. So
yeah, we will. Okay. Let's call it an evening. Do you guys want to say goodbye? I will say goodbye.
I'd like to go to bed now. So appreciate everyone watching. Appreciate you all.
Good night.
All right. See everyone. We will we'll catch you in the next one. Yard Dog, I see any chance you could do one more. We will give you a proper answer next time. We don't want to give you a fast one.
If I give you an answer right now, it's going to be me glazed over, just saying what's the shortest path to me getting off this stream.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna end this one. We'll see you soon.